Holy F, are stocks about to crash? This pattern looks awfully similar, and it's a Fed meeting. What could we do? Just the biggest decline in 50 years. And here is a bearish engulfing daily candle. It's not perfect because we're not below the low, but it has the word bearish in it. You want to guess what that is? It's just a little bit bearish. Well, Jerome, what are you going to do tomorrow, buddy? Because we're really watching closely. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're supposed to make stonks go up. All right. Are stonks going to go up? Are the bears going to be wrong? Let's get an update. We're in fully bully boomtown. Buy all dips, and higher lows are sufficient above 659.33. That's what I'm showing you right here. We did not hold the higher low. It doesn't mean the rally's over either. It just means that now we're going to 1 out of 4 bear because we have bearish evidence. It's pretty obvious. And here we have the notes from today, and I'll go through those in one moment. For tomorrow, it's a little bit busy, notably at 9:45 in Canada. We're likely going to see another cut. Inflation's been down. At 2 o'clock and 2:30, we got Jerome, and then we got the UK. Here's the notes for today. All right, I would just say this right here. The big gateway for the bears continues to get ratcheted higher at 659.33, and Jim Cramer just had to buy stonks. Oh my goodness. What does this mean? I'll pour one out for the homies because it might be totally over. The Magnificent Seven's best days are not behind them, Jim Cramer says. Even a broken clock is wrong twice a week, but whoa, whoa, whoa. Is there going to be a 40% crash? Because that's what this is talking about right here. I don't want to fearmonger today. I've done that in the last few videos. This is from Forbes. What I want to do today is to have a little bit of fun and get prepared for tomorrow. So you can see we did actually have an alert with the S&P crossing 659.33, which is basically that daily lower low. So with that daily lower low, we now progress to 1 out of 4 bearish. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. We could leapfrog all the way to number 4 tomorrow, which would mean that the one-day chart can now go from being 1 bearish. At one part today, we were at 2 out of 4. We were below the previous candle low. That's an ideal bearish engulfing candle. And then finally, we could go here tomorrow and finish here. Why? Well, all we got to do is close below today's low tomorrow. So I'll update the note for you. It's just basically the L, 659.21. Say it together with me, 659.21. 659.20 actually. Why? Well, we got to subtract 1 cent. We technically need a lower low. I will set an alert for tomorrow, and you can come back and see what the bulls did. In terms of news, well, that's pretty much done. We're going to get an update on Friday. We got the delay already here, so we can see that. Actually, I missed something else first here. So we got an extension for 90 days. The deal itself is a little bit curious. We're not going to talk about that today. We're just going to jump forward. It's looks like Andreessen Horowitz, and then there's also going to be Oracle, and then someone else I forget. This is curious because at this exact moment, China is launching discrimination and dumping probes into U.S. chips ahead of trade talks. And then we just got that delay. So looking here at KWeb, which is the Chinese internet stock, man, the booming, 44% year to date. Whoa. Where's the S&P so far this year? Hey, it's not doing bad. S&P is up by 12, but 12%, like the S&P really outshines when we look at the last 5 years and the max. But notably in the last year, there's a little bit of a problem. American exceptionalism may be dying. Well, let's make some money then, right? Burr, I don't like ones. I like Benjamins. Hundreds are better. So if you like making 13%, what if I could interest you in making 24% so far this year? Well, if 24% sounds good, what about gold? Gold is up 38%, the number 2 reserve currency. And the euro is currently climbing even higher compared to the US. If 38% sounds good, then let's look at, I think it's, I don't know, let's look at EWZ stock. All right, let's look at this one here year to date. It's up by 35. Nice. What about emerging markets? What about Mexico, right? I thought that would be bad for them. 39%, 0.98. Whoa. What about emerging markets overall? EEM. Hey, not bad. 27%. So America's up. But again, like if you want your stonks to not be not stonks and to maybe turn into confused stonks and then maybe really not stonks and then not stonks at all, be mindful of the video today. All right, all the jokes are over. We got about 4.5 minutes under our belt. This is the concern. It's the same thing I told you on the weekend and one of the only notes I currently have saved. What do I have saved? My Fed meeting minutes, educational comment, the Jim Cramer said to buy, and can stonks go down 40%? Those are going to be stinks. And then DeepSeek 3.1. This is a concern for me. I'm not going to explain to you the reason why, because I did that yesterday. No one wanted to click on the video, and I know why. People don't like the future. They like the red today. So I'm assuming today's video will do better, and I'm curious to see what people do. Anyway, so Baidu was one of those stocks that you have to watch out for. It's up 8% today. Year to date, wowzers. It's making a huge move recently here. Look at that, 52-week highs. How Baidu is positioned its AI against OpenAI, Google, and DeepSeek. That sounds awfully interesting because, like I said, we have this Chinese AI startup DeepSeek, which is currently sourcing domestic chips as of a month ago. So a month ago, they said, hey, we got those chips. We got the nice chips. We got the Huawei chips. And then only recently do they ban those NVIDIA chips. So I think it's really curious. I think there might be a little bit of a shift around the world. Remember, the US is a really big place, but the world is even bigger. The worst part here is he said exactly what I would not want to hear. So the Magnificent Seven are heroes. I'm not going to tell you to sell heroes unless something changes. What he basically said, I don't know if they changed the title here, was they said, don't trade it. He said, invest in it. So many people trade the Mag 7 stonks rather than owning them. Oh my God. Could they make it any worse? Because going back to the charts here, again, trying to be objective, right? We're not trying to tell the chart what it's going to do. We're trying to read it. So we're trying to read it. That's the biggest decline in 50 years right there. That's a Fed meeting. That's why I have the asterisk there. That's an SCP. That looks awfully familiar. And what everyone's calling for now, it's pretty much consensus. So if you don't mind, please considering to smash a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. Thank you ahead of time. It's now basically consensus that there's going to be a short-term shallow pullback. And that's kind of the obvious playbook right now. There is no rational reason for the market to be at the current multiple it is, other than maybe a little bit of irrational exuberance. But the really important thing here is that momentum is important. So if we look here to where the momentum is, I could be wrong, right? Everything could change. I could be totally wrong. We could flip, and that's okay for me. I'm actually okay to wait. This pattern right here for me, head, shoulder, shoulder, I'm not messing around. I said it in my last few videos. I'm not going to repeat it again today. There was something I was going to look for here. I just had a brain fart. Don't trade. Yeah, hold on to them forever. Right. That's, money market funds. That's what I was going to look at. Money market funds are, I can't type. Money market funds are now over $7 trillion. There was a news release recently. Newswire. Let's go Newswire, and let's go 7 trillion. Money market fund assets increase over 7.26 trillion as of September 5th. That's a big number. So is this money going to look to go to the stock market? I think it's going to depend on what Jerome Powell says. I said it yesterday. So we're looking for the reaction to the news for Jerome now. Let's break it down. We're at roughly 8 minutes or a normal length video. By the time we get to the afternoon tomorrow, we will have already had a few things. So that happens at 2:30. And I want to make sure, if you're still watching, first of all, thank you very much. Now let's go to what is actionable for tomorrow. Here's what's important to me. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Pause, rewind if you need to. I'm going to go to a horizontal line. Actually, I'm going to go to a horizontal ray. That way you know exactly where the line is starting from. And for tomorrow, I just basically told you it's on my notes. Sometimes I forget that my notes are for me, maybe not for the audience. So right here, I'm saying that we're very bullish about as long as we remain above 610. Buy the dip, but we don't even have a dip yet. So there has to be a dip for me to want to buy all the way down to 610.01. Ideally 613. That'd be perfect. Nice little haircut. We go down to there. I'd love that. But however, there's a gateway for the bears. So now we have to go here to tomorrow, and we're 1 out of 4 bear. It's not a passing grade. So don't be like, oh, well, you can't flip-flop like that. I can do whatever I want. These are not feels, right? This is called technical analysis. The candle is closed. There is no opinion. That is what happened. We're going to save it. That's what we need for tomorrow. So now we're cautious on the 1 day. When in doubt, zoom out. Weekly. What does this one say? Higher lows are sufficient. Okay, so that's the number for tomorrow. Mark it if you need to. I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to go right click. I'm going to go add alert. I'm going to go notification. And I'm going to have it send as plain text. I'm going to go settings here. I'm going to go with a message. daily lower low. Right, I'm going to go SPY 1 day lower low. Create. Done. There's now going to be an alert in my channel on Slack for my members. Again, you can go to the website if you want to. Don't if you want to. Don't really care. But anyways, going to the weekly chart now. Let's bring our lines back here. Going to the weekly. This is where maybe now you understand why there's also mixed signals. The last few weeks, we've had failed breakouts. We cleared that area. But if we fall below 646, which I've talked about extensively before, I'm going to flip, and I just do not care. I think we're going to come down like this. I think we're going to bounce. We're going to form a right shoulder, just like we have here, and just like we had the last time. So if you kind of look right here, it's not perfect, right? It's rising. There is head and shoulders inside of here, ultimately washes out after, and there were 3 major events that led to this. All right, this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I'll tell you what I think is going to happen right now. Look at the date right here, January 24th. So here's the Fed. And because there's $7 trillion on the sidelines, of course they're going to buy the dip until the end of the year. What happened here? Oh, end of the year. Yep, end of the year. And then right here, there's DeepSeek. I just told you they're on standby. They're ready to go. They punted it for 90 more days. Does China want to win? Or are they going to wait? It doesn't seem to really matter. DeepSeek is ready. So that was the big gap down on NVIDIA. We talked about that yesterday. So that's a $600 billion decline. If we look here to NVIDIA, let's go through one by one because this is really important too. Let's go to the 3-step recipe. Number 1, get below a moving average on a gap down. Number 1. Number 2, get back above the 50 DMA briefly. Okay, number 2. Number 3, mega crash, lose the 50 MA. Where is it on right now? 174.82, and the closing price is 174.88. Yes, or like within literally a couple of cents. So tomorrow, if it also repeats that same recipe for the S&P, which is a lower low, it could start going down. How much? I don't know, a lot, a little bit. If you look right here objectively, what is it doing? I would argue it's flagging. That's a massive pull. So the flag right here, could it go down to the all-time high before and bounce there? I would say that's super bullish. If what used to be resistance acts as support, or if we even leg down to God forbid support, or the blue line right there, that's where the bulls are looking to get excited. So the more important thing for me is we have an identified area of support where I expect to find it. If we don't, that's the more important thing because that $7 trillion means it's really, really scared. All right, what else did I have prepared for today? Because I do want to leave things with basically just bunting to tomorrow. So this is where I'm at. We didn't get the 2 out of 4 bear. It's only 1 out of 4. So we're cautious. But remember, the worst day in 50 years happened the equivalent of today a couple months ago. Sorry, almost a year ago. And I'm just seeing, again, I'm seeing evidence out there that tells me that I should be mindful of risk. Mindful of risk does not mean run for the hills. Mindful of risk means whatever it means to you. I'm going to show you one more thing that I think will be very important in a second here. I already went through a lot more, but look at Apple. Apple's a big stock. It's right here at a head and shoulders on the weekly. If it can't clear here, that's resistance. It's obvious. Same thing with AMD. So if I was looking for the next victim for the DeepSeek, I would probably suspect it would be AMD and NVIDIA. Well, right now, AMD is just resting just below here. Look at Micron. Micron go mega up, new all-time highs. Where's AMD? It's almost like AMD is signaling a story here. Am I right? Do I have my tinfoil hat on a little bit too tight? I don't know, but I don't see it above the right shoulder where it should be able to do this. Why is it not? We just got a $300 billion contract from Oracle and from OpenAI. Those are huge numbers, and they don't even have the commitments for it. So what I find very curious here is just that I don't know why it's not already at all-time highs. If we look at the semiconductor complex, SMH, it's already there. Look at that. We used to be resistance, acting as support. And even Intel, again, might be the dark horse, but Intel here actually rallying today. Why? Well, U.S. manufacturing. I think there's still tons of work to do for the stock. Oh my God, it's destroyed so much wealth. But there's things happening under the surface which have to give us some pause. Even like USAR, like this stock here is up 8.5% today. There's a lot of things that are moving really fast right now. So in a dull tape, things like this stand out. In a hot tape, the really important question you have to ask yourself is, do I really know where to start? In the last 2 or 3 minutes here, what I want to leave you with is just this. If you go to the link in the description, it should be the second one. First of all, I'll be live. That should be the first link tomorrow. If you want to come see me live, ask me a question, come tomorrow at 8:30. This is the show schedule. It's free. not going to ask you for anything. Just a thumbs up if you want, just subscribe if you want, and come back and get more free content if you want. These are the 4 things that make me a better investor. If they don't work for you, click off right now, please. If you're looking for someone to give you guidance who is trying to be transparent, trying to be open, this is what I'll tell you. You need to analyze the chart objectively. That's what I'm good at. Also, is it pointing up, down, or sideways? What quadrant is it in? And then if you zoom out, does it tell you a different story? What's your dominant time frame? What does it say? Does the volume confirm the move? Pause if you need to. Again, this is free in the description. And then the patterns. That's all just, again, that's like, I don't know, people call that astrology for men. Well, it works for me. So that's how to analyze a chart. It should take 10 seconds, like on here. If we just look, well, it's trying to go up, right? Yeah, it's trying to go up. Okay. Well, let's look at another one here. Well, I would argue it's trying to go up, right? Yeah, but it's objective because now we got to look at here. Maybe that's head and shoulders. We got the 50 MA, so we have to claim it, back test it, pass. Again, it's to each his own. No one is going to be able to tell you exactly where everything's going to go. This is what I would do. Make a plan before you have to. If you're in the heat of the moment and you're trying to wing a plan, for me, that doesn't work. If it works for you, hey, you're better than me. Congratulations. How to make a plan in 3 steps. What I would also encourage you to do is to limit the number of stocks that you have in your current holdings, because I've been doing that. So if I go to my current themes right now, I currently own 16 stocks, but I'm 90% cash, which means that whatever happens, for better or for worse, I will be okay with it. For my personal investment strategy, this is what I want. It's my retirement account, by the way. That's how much of a wussy I am right now. I'm prepared for the worst case scenario, and I'm ready for the surprise. What? DeepSeek, which is real. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, I highly encourage you to do it or to come back tomorrow morning. So I might still be surprised by the magnitude of the move, because no one seems to be taking this seriously other than me. And I do not understand how other people do not see what I see yet. We talked about DeepSeek earlier before it happened, and I'll just do this really quickly because I think it's important here. If you've been noticing ChatGPT degrading, I also showed that yesterday. It's because I think they're trying to cheat from this person over here. What is it? Well, it has a meter here where if it's greater than complexity of 0.62, it actually goes through a different thinking model. And it does them concurrently. It's a hybrid model, one large language model hybrid. I showed you DeepSight yesterday, which is another agent for DeepSeek. User prompts, it does both simultaneously. They've benchmarked the model. And honestly, it's just the right concept. There's something new and unique here. And we went through it before. So easy trick, go easy way. Hard trick, go hard way. Right? Wise man answer a wise question. Easy man easy answers easy questions. Narrow AI, general AI, super intelligent AI. This is the example right here I got from ChatGPT. So I think it's learning and cheating already from DeepSeek here. A couple of jokes aside, it's just basically this. Look how much data that is. Think about that. 685 billion parameters crunched in 228,000 tokens. That's called distillation. It's distilled every model, and it's found a better, more efficient way to distribute that model. It's basically doing this. Search, end, think, end. Concurrently in these, right? Think, deliberate, non-thinking, fast, default answer, right? Or let's think about context. Let's think about the complexity. Let's think about not just answering the question the second we get it. That's what I'm finding really helpful. That's this. If I want the old man, I go to the old man. If I want the kid, I'm like, well, the kid doesn't know nothing about geometry. Okay, cool. He can count to 2. Nice. He should know a lot more. I want to talk to him. That's it. It's just this one thing right here. It's just this one thing right here. All right. We always want the best case scenario to happen. However, if we are legitimately prepared for the worst case scenario, and Nvidia went down by $600 billion in market cap, it dropped by 40%. I don't want that to happen. Let's be clear. I'm going to make more money if stocks go up, but I'm not oblivious to the potential here. That's a 40% decline. The DeepSeek gap down happened literally a couple of days after the election, January 24th. That is not a coincidence. Or is it? I don't know. Aim to be less surprised, not unsurprised. All right. And then, should I wait, buy, or sell? This is probably the the synthesization, I can't say that word, of my personal struggles the best. Pause if you need to again one more time. The link's in the description if you want. Justin, what should I do? Should I wait, buy, or sell? You should probably make a plan today, because even if I'm wrong, this deep sea gap down happened into a weekend. What weekend? Could it be this weekend? It could be next weekend. I just don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen or if at all. All I know is that I have seen something that makes me feel like this might repeat itself. And if it does, you are not, maybe you will actually, came all the way back up for a gap fill. It is going to be mentally torturing and taxing to have to think about making your money back, or if you have a certain value anchored in your portfolio. Like, when I bought NVIDIA here, but it's currently worth here, my account is worth, let's pretend, $100,000. Let's just pretend, make it a nice round number. You hit a milestone at that number, right? 100K, nice. And yes, my drawings are terrible, right? That's supposed to be 100,000. All right, there we go. And then it goes down. Now you're worth 90. You're like, well, I'm not really happy the market is deleting money from me. It owes me that $10,000 back because I already spent it. I wanted a new car. If I only have 90K, I cannot afford that new car, or insert whatever it is you want to buy. So then you're like, okay, well, like it seems like everything's going to be totally fine. Right? It's right back to where I bought it. That's called a gap fill. That's the trap. Well, it was probably right the whole time. So every other dip's been the same, right? Grab your chips, grab your pico de gallo, your salsa, your whatever, mango. It might be different this time. I honestly just do not know. So dead cat bounce, down, down, down. What I'm trying to do is to give you a warning that I see some dark clouds on the horizon. By the time they get to here, they might end up being nothing, right? Okay, whatever. It was wrong. Yes, that'll be proven on these higher time frame charts. Let's have a look here. How many red candles do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6. Those are pretty good odds. What is it doing? It's softening. Is it softened enough to go higher now? Well, that's a lower high. It's a lower low. I could read a million charts to show you why. What you need to do is to think about, if pretend there's a 1% chance that I'm right. Let's even type this in a banner here. 1% chance, 10% chance, 1% chance. What if we have the biggest decline in 50 years tomorrow, or it happens next week, or it happens next year? If you think about this and stress test your account now, you will be able to have wherewithal. Think about what you're going to regret more. If you're down here, this is equally painful. Stocks go higher and you're not participating. Everyone's making money and you're not. That's difficult to deal with. And I'll show you one more thing here. Video will be a little bit longer, and that is okay. I really want to make sure, if you are watching right now, I give you what I would want in return. Topics. It's this. Because I'm a human. I think I'm smarter than other people, like every other human. And when I hear people saying, oh my God, I'm rich, I got to go tell everybody. Well, that's what I'm hearing about it. Who's the everybody? That's you. I got to go tell everybody about it. Then what happens? Well, I told you about the stock. It went up, right? And then, oh my God, that's the NVIDIA dip. It is. It's literally the NVIDIA dip. It's what I just showed you on the chart. Go back to here on the one-day chart. It's literally the psychology chart. Monster that can't bounce, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then it does bottom. I'm not going to tell you how I'm an excellent trader. I never make mistakes. I'm going to tell you how to avoid the biggest pitfalls. How do you talk to yourself in your head? Are you saying, look at me, I'm so smart, I'm a genius, I got to go tell everybody, like the people on YouTube's, how bears are betas and bears are wrong? Risk management? Screw that. I'm a genius. Look how rich I am. Again, if you're still watching, I don't think that's you, but think of what other people are saying about the stock that you own, or any stock in general. They're basically saying this: we're due for mean reversion. We could go right here, go higher. Remember, that was Palantir. I was dead wrong about that one. What happened to this one here? Man, I'm surprised. The stock just kept going higher. Had the psychology chart on here. I'm like, it's due for a correction right here. It's due to roll over. And what did it do instead? Got added to the S&P. Whoop. So again, it's just probabilities. It's just probabilities. So what are you saying to yourself in your head? And then going back to, whoa. What about the other part? Sorry, buddy. Let's go back to the other part. Justin, I own stocks right now. I don't have 90% cash like you. I'm a long-term investor. What should I do? What are you going to regret more? If you wake up in tomorrow or next week or next month, and there's a 1% chance that we decline by 5 or 10% on the S&P, individual stocks could decline by 40%. That was NVIDIA. The biggest stock in the world declined by 40%. That's a correction within a bull market. So pop flag, pop, sag, pop. I don't know where stocks are going to go, but these stocks can move. Most people will find themselves here because they have equal regret. Well, of course, if you could tell me the future and it was going to go lower, like why would I sell? But if it's going to go higher, sorry, if it's going to go lower, like why would I not sell everything, 100% of it? Well, that's the beauty of the market. What if we go up? What if we go up though? What if I sell everything? I'm going to really regret that. And then I'm going to tell myself, man, you are an idiot sandwich because everyone's a genius and you're not. You bought the top, you lost money, everyone else is happy, you can't sell. This is the really important part. If you can't decide what to do, again, the goal is to avoid what you're going to regret more. If you own stocks, then what should you do? Split the difference if you can't decide. Whatever you own. Again, this is what I do. And if you go watch the video at the end of the stream and hear it for the stream, you will see me doing that in real time. I do that live. I show my real trades. So if you can't decide, do half. Because if number one happens and it goes lower, you're going to say, phew, thank God I sold half because a stock is going down and I'm so happy I'm not fully loaded, right? I was wise for selling half. I was managing the risk. If it goes higher, you're going to say, phew, thank God I only sold half because I knew it all along. The stock was good. It was going to go up and I am going to make money from it. So you can actually live with the decision. You can say that it's okay if I'm right or wrong. I'm making a decision to manage the risk and avoid what I'm going to regret. Otherwise, I'll be like everyone else. Doing what? Complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, disbelief, over and over, from peak to trough, on different patterns. If we go back here to the simple chart of the S&P, this is a daily chart. That's to slam down to here to say that it's not broken, right? I'm just trying to call a top. I'm trying to tell you to manage risk. On the weekly chart, man, there's still tons of room for us to go here. Tons and tons and tons of room for the market to go higher. But if it starts going down, I hope that now you are prepared. I'm really going out of my way today. So if you could do me a huge favor, if you're still watching, just smash a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not, because you're going to enjoy the next video. Thanks so much.